What up, everybody? It's your boy Marcus, the barber with the bow tie.
And I'm Bryce Davis of Bryce Davis Media.
And as always, we're here at 313 Beauty Supply and Icons Barber Salon. What's up, everybody? What's cracking, Bryce?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Since the last episode, got some great responses from it. Connected with the people and all that. So
Right,
that was
right.
great to see.
Thank you for all your support, comments, shares, likes, because it's something we're dealing with every day. It's not a gender role. That's something we all experience, high functioning depression. And, since that conversation, we still continue to kind of chip away at trying to find ways to overcome it.
Let's talk about a little more. In the last one, we did talk about high functioning depression.
Right.
And now we have other things that I think we should talk about as well that deals with mental health. This is one thing that I've been told. I've even heard you say it before too, is overthinking. I'm sure that's something a lot of people have heard and deal with is they've been told that they overthink too much. And I personally, I'm just giving my take on it. I don't think overthinking is a problem unless it stops you in real life of getting something done, right? So you and your people's riding around, could be you and your girl, whoever the case is, right? And she might say she's hungry and you might be hungry. And I've learned as a man, you kind of just want to pick the restaurant out because if you overthink like she overthinks, nothing gets done and you end up wasting gas. So I think that's when overthinking becomes problematic. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with over obsessing as long as it's productive. Like if it's towards a goal, like when my car broke down, I was very obsessive about getting another car within a time span.
Right.
So to me, that type of overthinking was productive. Now, overthinking where you can't really change things, I think that's where it becomes more problematic. And I think if you're more anxious or deal with depression, I think that's where that becomes more of a problem, where it just sticks in your mind and lives rent free.
Defined overthinking. So if you're thinking about something too much or too long, because the definition of overthinking, and a lot of times we know these things, but sometimes it's good to just read the words. But thinking about something too much or too long, like you said, obsessing. I don't know that anything obsessing over anything is good. Obsessing?
Obsessing? Yeah.
Well, let me take
Okay.
that back. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was ready.
Right. You're about to shoot me out the sky.
Yo,
No. So I'm gonna agree with you because see, I'm really formulating the thought and processing what you're saying. You know what I mean? Because that's why I go to the dictionary because we always kind of take things out of context by way of commonality. The common understanding of overthinking is worry, anxiety. You know what I mean? But
exactly.
You can definitely have that self-determination where you're focused on the thing so much that until it gets done, you won't stop thinking about it. So I
call that more obsessing.
Yeah. So I guess when it becomes toxic is when it's bad. You know what I mean?
Oh, especially in relationships. Yeah. Like if an argument is replaying in your head and you over here thinking about how you could have argued better, then I think that's
hey.
As a man, you gotta chill on that. But we're human, so
right. Cause see, really, I'm not a good arguer on the spot. I'll be thinking, damn, I should have said that.
Yeah,
you know
me too.
So I don't know if that was just.
But as a man, you can't out argue a woman,
right?
Like
honestly, and I fall victim because you get so passionate about being right or at least proving your point. I'm learning, man. It's so many compartments.
And you gotta learn what battles to pick too.
Say that
being right with everything sometimes ain't worth it.
It ain't. So yeah, I would definitely agree that overthinking can be productive and good as well as toxic, and I like that word because everybody uses it, but
it's a buzzword.
Really. But no, I mean it can definitely be harmful to your situation because if you're one of those people who are always maybe so the cup is half empty and not half full.
Yeah.
If you're more of a pessimist than an optimist, then overthinking some shit might cause you to hurt yourself or somebody. You know what I mean? Like
Actually, almost happened to me last night. I was in the shop and I think you had left your phone. I don't know if you did that intentionally
Yeah,
or not.
nah.
Okay, so I was overthinking about if I should have grabbed it, but then I hit a point while I was driving to where it's like, all right, Bryce, you already left, so there's nothing you can do to change, and
Wow.
so
Okay.
yeah, that's but I recognized it though,
Right,
because if I
right.
would have kept thinking about it, then it would have probably made me more anxious and worrying, and all that tends to occur.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, that's funny because I think I experienced periods of overthinking when I'm most doubtful in whatever it is I'm doing or myself. You know what I mean? Like, how about you? I mean, when do you? Well, you just said this the phone situation. I'm not gonna overthink something like that. Like,
Right.
I should have
So
grabbed that
with
nigga phone.
parenting, I see that there's challenges that arise on the daily
Yeah.
that unpredictable. Well,
Right,
I imagine you running a business, like you can't predict when something's gonna go wrong, but when it does, you gotta think of a solution. So
right.
when it comes to kids, sometimes I gotta think to myself, what's the best way to handle it? Because can't handle it like adults. Like when your kid has an issue with let's say another kid or another adult, then you gotta think on the spot and be confident in what your decision making is gonna be. And I noticed that as a parent, I don't always know on the spot the best thing to do, but I typically make a decision and I mean, you just gotta kind of stick with your guns. Like, there's no manual to being a parent, so
Right.
there's gonna be overthinking, but it's not something that you're going to notice from the outside observing in.
Right.
I feel like once it gets to that point, that's when it becomes a little more problematic when people can tell you're not confident in your decision making.
Right.
Yeah, especially you don't want your kids or somebody that's being led by you to feel that way. That's where, yeah, we have an issue.
Right. It's kind
Overthinking.
of like a dog smelling fear.
Yeah,
Mhm,
absolutely. They
mhm,
say the pheromones is released and they can
mhm.
tell when you're scared.
Right,
And,
right.
you know.
Yeah, that's real talk. So, I mean, are you in a state where you need tips to help you not overthink? Is it that bad, or I mean, I don't, I mean,
no. But that's not to say that it's not a common issue that
right,
most people deal with.
right.
Just because we don't have that issue, don't mean that most people do. Because I think to some degree, everybody, unless you're that over arrogantly confident in everything you do, which is has its pros and cons, but you also can't be that delusional.
Right.
It's great to be confident, but it's also not when you're confident in something that you don't know nothing about, but you're passionate to talk about it, because then you're going to sound dumb to somebody that does know.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
So I asked that question because, of course, I have 9 tips on how to control overthinking. Catch the loop early. Overthinking is like a snowball. Small at first, then it gets huge. Notice the first signs, replaying old conversation, imagining worst case scenarios, what if spirals. As soon as you catch it, say in your head out loud, no, not helpful, and shift your mind. That interrupts the loop. It says give your brain a job. Your mind overthinks when it's idle. Give it something structured to do. A 60-second deep breath cycle, a small physical test, sweeping. Write down the thought in one sentence on a note. After that, your brain often releases it. Create a 2-minute rule for worries. If something can be solved in 2 minutes, act on it. If not, write it down to solve it later. Boom. That's gangster.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, you just reminded me when it becomes anxiety at that point to where you start feeling physical changes in your body, then
right.
you know that it's something wrong or that you need to stop thinking about it. And if you can't stop thinking about it, then it's time to let go. They say let go, let God, and all that.
Right.
Like, you ever been that overwhelmed in a situation, and best thing to do is just let go and let it be. And with that being said, that can lead to exhaustion a lot of times. And I know we talked about burnout, but overcoming exhaustion.
What kind of exhaustion? No. Mental, physical, spiritual, what?
So last night I experienced some type of mental exhaustion, believe it or not. And I wasn't even around a lot of people, but
Right.
I was up here for a long time and whatnot. And to combat that, I went to sleep.
Right.
like like once I realized I couldn't be productive no more, get nothing else done for the day, it's like, yo, I might as well just clock out for the night because
Right.
I'm no longer functioning enough to get anything done. So I mean, that's one way, but I don't know if that's the healthiest way to overcome exhaustion.
You like to believe certain things are common sense. Find time to rest. Find downtime to where the lights are low and there's no sound, so you can just clear your mind, meditating, listening to certain kind of music. Because I think music resonates. We're all on some kind of frequency. Certain types of music raises your frequency level and lowers and mellows you out. So I would think
Yeah,
you would find some music that could do that for you. You know what I mean?
I like to listen to motivational speakers. Like
I
I'll
do
just throw
too.
that on in a heartbeat just to try to get my mind back in a more optimistic state. You feel like you have any beliefs that hold you back in life?
So I'm gonna say tough love, man.
Okay.
I don't really know anything else. I don't think many people really know what love is for real, bro. But I think believing that tough love is necessary, and or not identifying what that really is. I don't know, man. I'm just very brash, dude, and I'm learning that I can't be that way. You know what I mean? I'm very, very hard and rough around the edges. It's one of those things where you don't know you're away until you lose something that's like important. You know what I mean? Or you
Yeah.
push this, you push somebody away, and it makes you ask yourself why, and then you have to start evaluating who the fuck you are, type shit. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm going through right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
And no. It makes sense because if you look at it, I don't know how familiar you are with, let's say, Dame Dash,
Yeah, yeah,
but he has a way of, and I think in his mind, he thinks everybody's as, if you want to call it, thick-skinned as him.
right.
In reality, you can't. It's not that you can't, but it's like if you go around talking to everybody the way that he does, eventually it's gonna backfire against you.
Yeah, man.
And the problem with Dame, in my opinion, is he's never really learned how to scale it back, especially now that he's not in the position that he used to be in.
Right,
And it's
right.
like you can continue being that way, but you're also like pissing everybody off,
And
which
ain't
is
nobody.
fine if you don't need people, but most likely you do, and it becomes problematic.
Right,
And we
right.
love Dang Dash, like we love that brass that oh you
Th-
ain't do this, like you need to, but
Well,
it
that's
don't
that's
translate.
well, that's what make Dame who he is. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So we definitely shout out to Dame for all that you've contributed to the hip hop game, man. Yeah, but it's unfortunate when you get to the point where you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I
that's
mean?
exactly it.
And I was almost that guy, man. Like, right now I'm at a pivot. Right now, at this moment in my life, I'm at a pivot, and it's crucial. And what that means is reflecting on everything that has brought me to this point. You know what I mean? Good, bad, and ugly. In order to achieve a certain level of success, I have to do a certain level of self assessment, man, so that I can rid myself of the impurities, my personality, the so called, if you are biblical, the dross. Like that's what the old Bible called the dirt that was in gold. So they would have to boil gold so hot that the dross burns off, so it's just pure gold. And that's where I am in this pivot, man. I'm the temperature is hot right now. You feel me? And I'm burning. I'm at the point where I'm getting up to where I'm trying to become pure gold, so to speak. Not perfect, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just pure.
Well, so far the points that we made it in life has got us to where we're at. So I think in order for us to get closer to that ceiling, if there is a ceiling, we got to evolve, we got to change because where we've been at got us to where we are now.
Right.
And so we're going to have to do things a little different in order to level up, as they say. So,
I can honestly say, especially thanks to you, man, because you got me talking to Chat GPT like he the homie. You know what I
they
mean?
be talking back like that too,
Ask
though.
the questions and shit like that. So it's helping me understand some thoughts of mine that I haven't really fully formulated, and it helps me get some clarity from within, man. I think also that beliefs holding you back comes from also not inheriting beliefs that can push you forward. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so you can't have both of them in the same pot. Like, either you have beliefs that's going to push you forward, or you got beliefs that's holding you back. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And a lot of those beliefs that hold you back be coming from your own family. Like,
Man,
man, don't do that. Like, oh, you going to Ohio? Like, bro, why'd you do that when you can stay here? And it's like, nah. sometimes you gotta make that move.
Right.
And you know, it's not coming from a place where they don't want to see you grow. It's like they want to protect you, but protection holds you back.
Right.
Yeah, it holds you back. So, you know, we just gotta be conscious of that. And I gotta be conscious of when I'm doing it as well.
Right. Right.
Like my daughter wants to start a YouTube channel. And it's like I have some concerns about her being on the internet. And then I had to realize, okay, that's your concerns. I ain't got nothing to do with what she wants to do. So
well, I mean, it just depends on what your concerns are, because if it's always, I would assume ultimately it's for her protection. You know what I mean?
but that's where the rational comes in. Like her having a YouTube channel is rational.
Right.
What bad can come from that? That might fall more under irrationality.
Respect.
Yeah, so
Respect.
yeah.
Respect.
That's when I had to realize, like, yo.
But if you realize that's something that we was talking about maybe some whenever, but the conversation of teaching her your trade, your skill, your family trade is film. You're a YouTuber. You're monetized. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
she's following in your footsteps, so to speak.
Yeah.
She's getting ahead of the game because her daddy is already a G in the game, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I commend her for following suit.
But I'd rather dig down a little bit further into who we are as a people, our core. It's something that I have written down. Inherited patterns of whether it's habits, traumas, and beliefs that we carry with us to this very day. That's the core of what I want to get down to today, definitely. Is are you carrying things with you from your childhood into your adulthood, and are you aware of it and how it shows itself, you know? Like that can stem from anxiety, stressors, things like that, especially your ability to cope. Because how you coped as a kid ain't gonna be too different than how you cope as an adult unless you develop coping skills.
Right.
And a lot of us don't learn how to cope. And so we start doing things that we think will help us cope. Might start drinking. You know, everybody likes a drink or two. It makes you feel better. But sometimes that same drink can make you feel worse afterwards. At least for me.
Right.
That's how it tends to happen. Even though it makes me feel good at the time being. You know, the first time I ever smoked was for that purpose. You know, like I grabbed a blank them out inside the house and just let it loose.
All right.
Yeah, you know, I was watching Next Friday one time, and dude used a little vacuum cleaner, and thought I could do the same thing until, you know, my mom turned the vacuum on, smoke came pouring out. I was like, yeah, you can't be doing that, G. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I carry with me that have formed that childhood that I'm aware of, such as not trusting people. Right. That's a big one. I'm always thinking that it's almost like abandonment issues, but I don't have abandonment issues. Like I tend to think that people aren't who they portray themselves to be, which I still feel that way to an extent.
Right.
But I also have this thought that they can just walk out at any given time. And I think it's because maybe I feel that way to some extent. If I feel like the situation is not serving me, that I'm willing to walk away.
Dip.
Yeah, and to other people that could be confusing. And to me, it comes off like a good thing. Like, nah, you just know your worth. You just know you ain't, you know. But the other people is like, yo, he ain't give an explanation. Like, you just gone. Like,
I was about to say, is there a build-up point, or is it just a matter of, yeah, I ain't feeling this shit no more?
You know, the sad part is that last part he said, when you ain't feeling it no more.
Right.
Because when it becomes irrational is you can have all the evidence in the world that is working, but then for you to just want to tap out because you're bad at the moment, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, the only time I could think, it's funny because you're right here with me.
That's funny.
There was a time me and you had a miscommunication. What was it with the messaging? What was that? Oh, I was asking you what the stylist was here, and
oh yeah,
I forgot. That was the first time I thought to myself, like, I don't know how to take this. Let me get up with him to clarify before I start thinking otherwise and acting on it.
I think, yeah, I remember, because I think it was at a time when she had already left or something, and I was just like, I think I said something like, she ain't here or something, but I do remember getting that vibe from the text, like, are we on the same page right here? Like,
Hey, that's why like text messaging, it's so hard to joke with people.
Right.
I'm not saying you know. I'm just saying like in general.
Hey, no, and
Yeah.
I'm terrible because I just don't have a filter, man. And
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm bragging or if that's sad. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Nah, I would
but
say most people wish they could be blunt. If you
I
think about it, most people wish they could be assertive. Most people are too. They have this guilt of what if I offend them? What if? And it's like, nah, just say it's bothering you.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
And sometimes, like even earlier today, like when we make this feels like it's all personal. But
I know, right? We are having a personal conversation.
yeah.
That's cool. We all get to know us. You feel
Yeah,
me?
so like sometimes when I ask you questions in here, let's say when we're setting up,
Right.
sometimes I'll be knowing, but I gotta double check with you so that like the reason I'm double checking with you is I don't want you to I don't know where you're at sometimes to where like I wouldn't want you to build resentment about something later.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we don't know how other people are. That's why we are the way we are. Otherwise,
Yeah, I can dig that all day. I can dig that all day. So really, it's just really about understanding who you're dealing with. I think I'm a good judge of character, so I feel like I can read whether or not you're being funny or not. We've never been. I don't think we've ever been inappropriate towards one another. If that's a thing niggas can do, you know what I mean? I think inappropriateness. I've been more inappropriate when I've come on to a woman, maybe.
see the thing
Maybe I
is,
thought we was somewhere where we wasn't, and I said something that she
yeah,
wasn't ready for, type shit. You know what I mean? But
and this applies to that too. Is wittiness.
yeah,
Sometimes when certain people are so witty, you don't think about it. Like I know I'm like that.
right.
Like for instance, I assume you're always gonna say something witty back, so I had no problem. Not no problem, but I'm more likely to, say something that I wouldn't say to other people.
Right,
'Cause,
right, 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 right,
I'm not expecting them to be quick on their toes, with certain things.
right, right,
But with
right.
women, unless you know she like that.
Yeah, dog. I trust me. My nephew say I don't know. I've never get embarrassed, but trust me, I just know how to handle embarrassment. In learning yourself, you have to be confident in your move, man, because you learn it. You know what I mean? So it's you don't know. You got to find out who you are. It's good to have mentors. It's good to have role models, people you can model yourself after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that there's some type of guideline you following. Because we all want to be our best selves, but shit, I was raised by wolves, man. Like,
Actually, I got a question to ask you. I
mm,
was talking to my brother about it. There's this video out there where dude was he turned his friend in for what was it 100,000 or something like that. There's a situation in Dayton that happened where the FBI put him on the list, and I forget. I don't want to get the numbers off. I want to say it was like 15 grand if you had information, and he had to turn himself in. So my question to you is there any amount of money that you put a price on somebody's friendship?
nah, because it ain't that serious for me, man. I mean, yeah, it ain't that serious for me. Like money, I don't really want a lot to begin with, but I have to get a lot because I have to
Yeah.
leave. You know what I mean? Like I don't want a lot for myself, but I realize I have a talent that I never really tapped into, and it could create something that
Yeah.
will I can leave for my family when I'm gone. So if it was up to me, bro, I'd probably be on the beach somewhere.
That's it.
You
I was
know what I
gonna
mean?
say with the situation at hand for me, I'll say a little outside the box. Like if I were to do a crime and to the point where the FBI is offering money, I'm the type to where I'm gonna call you and let you know where I'm at. Look out for my peoples, because if they're gonna find me anyway, why not you get the money and at least look out for my, you know what I'm saying? The where
Now,
we can all,
now that's something different,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Then that's something different. Cause if
Versus, hey, bro, don't tell them where I'm at just so I can have a month of going to the club still. What was that dude in New Orleans that they couldn't catch for the longest?
right,
Yeah, like that's just stupid. Like you
right.
might as well just cash out if there's money being involved.
Hey,
Like, hey, just take
I
care of
can't
my
even
people.
lie. That's a gangster ass idea right there.
Yeah,
So man, they said 50,000, man. I'm turning myself in. We
yeah,
give you the money. I want you to get 30 to the 30
yeah.
to the
To the
family.
family,
Right.
yeah. That's why I looked at it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Why not? That's gangster. But just awesome. Yeah, nah, I need this money. My homie about to get caught up anyway. I mean, to piggyback off what you just said, I don't know if people would think that in the moment, but in a perfect world, thinking forward as we talk about it, I'd call you and be like, bruh, let me get turn your ass in. You know a nigga got credit card debts.
Yeah. So I was thinking too
Right.
about it. Like, there's really nobody that I hang around that would commit atrocity, like just murdering people.
Right.
But like, if he did something honorable and integrable, like somebody did something like slaughtered your family and you avenged them, then yeah, I don't think I would turn that money just because it's like, yo, you did, like, you was about to lose your mind regardless, so you at
Right.
least lost it.
I'm glad you killed them and not us. But yeah, you know, it is. This was kind of a personal conversation, man. We really just wanted to touch on simple ways to maintain some sanity, man. You know, like we say, this has become a labor of love, man, because more y'all hit us on our DMs than y'all put in the comments. And so please put your comment in the comment section, share it, like it, subscribe. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
For the most part, but ultimately we thank y'all for always tuning in,
Yes,
because
sir.
we like to give the average guy, this shop talk that we present to y'all so that you can just relate.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.